This week's shirim about medical miracles is dedicated and sponsored by my personal doctor, Dr. Joyce Morel, who I'm very extremely grateful for her incredible help in many, many areas. She should have success in Arichas Yamim and many patients who realize the greatness of her medical abilities and intellect and professionalism. Speaking about medical miracles, I'd like to tell you another one. This might knock your socks off. Hold on tight. The Mishnah in Shabbos, Parak Vav, Mishnah Yud, talks about different items you're allowed to wear when going out on Shabbos. And one of them is a shein shel shual, the tooth of a fox. I've learned this Mishnah many times. I've learned Masechet Shabbos many times. It didn't strike me as something today which is halach l'maisa. I was in the car a few weeks ago with a number of Talmidei Chachamim, and they were talking about fox teeth. Where do you get fox teeth? From Holland, from other places. And I was like, my hi. They told me that they had spoken many times to Rabbi Elyashiv about fox teeth, and the Bartanura explains in the Mishnah that if you have a live fox will, and you hang the tooth of a live fox around somebody who is in a coma or sleeping, then he will come to. If you take the tooth of a dead fox, then that will put someone to sleep who can't fall asleep. And they're discussing how to get foxes, and it occurred to me that this quite incredible thing. Rabbi Elyashiv, we spoke in the last shir how the psak of a gadol, the Torah, can affect something so greatly. My friend, Dr. Joel Leibowitz, Dr. Rabbi Yaakov, excellent doctor, told me once that Stipler had many, many cures. He would send people to a pharmacy nearby his house for certain cures, and they almost always worked. And when he died, people tried the same cures and they didn't work anymore. And Dr. Leibowitz explained, same idea, tzaddik gozer Hashem b'kayim. But here, the tzaddik, the Mishnah, is not just the tzaddik of today, but it's the Mishnah. And the Rambam takes issue a little bit with these cures. He writes in Mar Nevuchim, Chel Gimel, Parak Lamed Zayin, 337. He says, these are things that Bali Segula do, and they're Madama. They also take the nail from crosses and hang it around their neck as well, and think that it'll take away their fever. He takes issue a little bit, but the Rashba in Shuba, it's Chelik Aleph, Shuba Taf Yud Gimel 1:413. He writes strong words against the Rambam. He said, if Chazal told us that the tooth of a fox wakes people up, it does. When Chazal testify about something, you can rely on it, and you can know that this is something that really works. Either because they gave it the power, or because they're testifying that this is a viable and acceptable medical phenomenon that really, really works. It's not just a segula, but it's a real medical tool. And a person can see medical miracles, as these Talmidei Chachamim testified. Right? They saw many, many times people in comas. They put fox teeth around their neck, and it woke them up. The tooth of a live fox. They weren't speaking about dead foxes putting people to sleep, but live foxes waking people up. And this is something we have to understand and appreciate. The incredible words of Chazal, the power of the words of Chazal. If Chazal told us something is Metzias, it is. Right? Now, Rav Moshe Feinstein has a tshuva about certain things Chazal said. He said that they're no longer applicable. So we have to know. We have to have a Masura from Karan to Gedolim. Right? Gemara in Gittin, Mishach Sukardaikas, talks about shaving one's head and putting a chicken over, drinking old wine. Says Rav Moshe, it's absolutely not halach l'maisa. You shouldn't do it. So there are some things Chazal say that you should do, and some things you shouldn't do. We need a Masura from the Gedolim of this generation. But certainly anything which our Gedolim have put their hands on, as it were, and given credibility to, then we not only should do it, but we should do it not because the tooth of a fox does anything at all, but because the Tanoim and every single Tana had the power to do Tchias HaMesim. Anybody whose name is mentioned in the Gemara, in fact, could do Tchias HaMesim. The Chachamim, the sages of the Gemara, of the Mishnah of the Gemara, these were incredible people. They were people who had very, very great powers. You see the Gemara Megillah, there was a Purim Suda where one Amar shechted the other one and brought him to Tchias HaMesim. Maharsha says, don't take it literally, but some take it literally. They could do Tchias HaMesim. They had incredible powers. And we should follow their advice whenever we have a Maser on that from Gedolim, and understand that medicine is not limited to antibiotics, to penicillin, to pills, what doctors say, vaccines. But when Chazal gave credibility to something, that's certainly credibility. Incredible Miri, I'll finish with this point. The Miri says that medicine works according to the belief of each generation. We find in the Gemara that many, many people are bloodletting, and today if you ask a doctor about bloodletting for this and that, they'll look at you funny. But it must be in the times of Chazal that it worked, because so many people were doing it. So the Miri says, in any generation, what works is what people understand to be true. And today that the medical profession has scientifically proven antibiotics, penicillin, and vaccines, that they have some level of activity, and people believe in it, this is why they work. The reason why they work is because people believe in them. Right? If everybody would stop believing them, they would cease to work. Seemingly, according to Mary. And this is very, very important to know. Hashem makes medicines work to hide the truth. When we take a pill, we take a medicine, we're supposed to say, right, Baruch Roi Fechinam, right? Kiro Fechinam Ata. Hashem is a free doctor, he doesn't charge. And Roi Fechile Amo Israel, Hashem is the curer of the sick of Israel. Hashem cures the Jewish people. It's not really the medicine, although it's very, very important to take medicines and whatever we need for health, it's very important, but that's not really what's curing us. What's curing us is Hashem, and Hashem alone. And this we have to know. My Rabbi Zatzal once said, what the Zohar says, that the only reason that non-Jews get sick is so it shouldn't be a Chil Hashem for the Jewish people. The real reason why we get sick is to come back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to do tshuva. So we should all use the medical miracles that our sages, Chazal, provide us with. We should use it with Emunah, and we should use it to come back to Hashem. B'tshuva, Shlema, Amen, Ken Ratzon.